Every app on your phone is collecting data about you. And this isn't fear-mongering. Right now, as you're watching this video, the apps sitting on your phone are tracking which other apps you use, how long you spend on them, what you search for, what you buy, and where you go. And most people have absolutely no idea how deep this actually goes. Let me explain how it works.
When you download an app, you agree to its terms and conditions. And let's be honest, nobody actually reads those before tapping the little I accept button. Buried inside that wall of legal text is usually a section about data collection. And what it says in most cases is that the app has permission to collect your personal information and share it with third parties. Third parties is a very polite and misleading way of saying data brokers. Companies whose entire business model is buying and selling information about you. Here's what that money trail actually looks like. A company with 1 million monthly active users sells the data of 1,000 of those users to a data broker for $5 per thousand. That's $5,000 going straight into their pocket just from selling your information. And they do this over and over again with multiple brokers every single month. You are not the customer. You are the product being sold. And the thing is, Google and Apple both have policies that technically ban apps from selling your data to third parties. But here's the loophole. Those rules apply within their ecosystems. Smaller apps, your local news app, a free game, a weather app, a flashlight app, these all have a strong financial incentive to share your data with outside companies. And most of them do exactly that. Now you might be thinking, okay, but I only use popular apps from big companies. Surely those are safe. I hate to burst your bubble, but even those are not necessarily safe. When researchers reviewed 150 privacy policies from some of the most downloaded apps, they found that the vast majority were written above a college reading level. They're complicated on purpose so that most people give up trying to understand them. And even when you do understand what you're agreeing to, you don't really have a choice. If you want to use the app, you accept the terms. But I'm not telling you to abandon all apps and run away from technology, because that's just not realistic for most people. Instead, you can do a few simple things to significantly reduce how much data these apps collect on you. The first and most important thing is to go through your app permissions. Every app on your phone has been granted access to certain features of your device: your location, your camera, your microphone, your contacts, your photos. And a lot of apps have permissions they have absolutely no business having. A calculator app that wants access to your contacts, a free game that wants permission to use your camera, a note-taking app that wants to know your location. If an app's permissions don't make sense for what it actually does, that's a red flag. Go into your phone settings, tap on privacy, and go through each permission category one by one. Revoke anything that doesn't make sense. The second thing is to be very careful about free apps. Free apps need to make money somehow. And in most cases, the way they do that is by collecting your data and selling it. That's the trade-off. You get the app for free, and they get your personal information. It's not always the case, but it's worth being skeptical before you download a free app. Before you download a free app, spend 2 minutes researching the developer. Check their reviews, look up their privacy policy, and see if they have any history of data leaks or selling user information. If anything looks off, find an alternative. The third thing is to only download apps from official stores. The App Store and Google Play both have testing and approval processes that screen for security issues. They're not perfect, but they're significantly safer than downloading an app from a random website or third-party store. An unregulated source has no accountability, and some of those apps are specifically designed to inject data-collecting malware onto your device the moment you install them. The fourth thing is to delete apps you don't use. The average smartphone user has around 80 apps, but only actively uses about half of them each month. Every app sitting on your phone that you haven't opened in months is still potentially running in the background, still collecting data, and still taking up space. Go through your apps and delete anything you haven't used in the last 30 days. And if there's an app you only use occasionally, consider just using the browser version instead. Most services have a perfectly functional website that doesn't require you to install anything on your device. The fifth thing is to limit what personal information you put on social media in the first place. This one sounds obvious, but it's worth saying. The less information you share publicly, the less there is to collect. You'd be surprised how detailed a profile a data broker can build from just your name, your location, your job title, and a few years of posts. Advertisers thrive on every detail they can find. Give them as little as possible to work with. Now, there's also a category of privacy-friendly apps worth knowing about. Apps that are specifically built around not collecting your data. Wire is a great alternative to WhatsApp for messaging. It was built with data protection as part of its actual business model, not as an afterthought. It doesn't gather any personal data, and it's available on both your phone and your computer. DuckDuckGo is worth using as your default browser and search engine. It doesn't use cookies to track you, it doesn't log your searches, and it automatically hides your IP address from the websites you visit. Unlike incognito mode on Chrome or Safari, which only stops your own device from storing your history, DuckDuckGo actually prevents websites and data brokers from tracking you while you browse. To be clear, this video was not sponsored by Wire or DuckDuckGo or any other company. I am simply sharing some alternatives that I've heard good things about. All of these steps are going to make a real difference to how much data apps can collect on you. But there's one more layer worth thinking about. Even after you've locked down your permissions, deleted unused apps, and switched to privacy-friendly alternatives, your internet traffic is still visible. Your internet service provider can still see which websites you visit. Anyone on the same network as you can potentially intercept your connection, and data brokers can still build a profile on you based on your IP address and browsing patterns. This problem gets even worse if you use public Wi-Fi regularly, such as when you're working out of coffee shops or traveling. A good VPN helps with all of this. When you connect to a VPN, your traffic gets routed through an encrypted tunnel. Your ISP can't see your browsing activity. Your real IP address gets replaced, so websites can't track your location, and anyone trying to intercept your connection just sees encrypted data that's completely unreadable to them. Personally, I use NordVPN. The reason I trust it specifically is that they've had their no logs policy independently verified by outside security researchers. So, unlike some VPNs that just claim not to collect your data, Nord has actually had that claim tested and confirmed. They also encrypt your DNS requests, which closes a specific gap where your ISP can see which sites you're looking up, even when the site itself is encrypted. It works across all your devices, so your phone, your laptop, and your tablet are all covered under one subscription. Look, everyone wants your data because it's worth a lot of money to advertisers. That's just the world we live in. But you're not powerless. Double-check your app permissions, delete what you don't use, be skeptical of free apps, switch to privacy-friendly alternatives where you can, and add a VPN as your final layer of protection. None of this takes more than an hour to set up, and once it's done, you're in a much better place than most people.
If you want to try NordVPN without any risk, they have a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee.
You'll find the best discount link that is currently available in the description below.